Yes, and for many of them, that's their ultimate goal. That's their home, that's their culture, that's what they know. They want to go back. And so they were highly motivated to get their education. Some of them went on to medical school in the United States because they want to go back and improve their country. And in fact, the war that they were fighting, they resulted in a new country in elections recently. So they want very much to help and support their country, go back, try to find friends and family members. They definitely wanted to go back and contribute.
Did any of them find their families?
Yes, some did find a family member who would become a refugee and maybe was living in another part of the United States. There was constantly that quest going on, or it may have been like a cousin or something. There were some of those times where they found someone, and there was great celebrations, really good celebrations.
Prima?
So, what did he like or dislike about the U.S.?
Oh, wow. Good question. They were amazed at the abundance. So many cars, the grocery stores were stocked. I mean, dozens and dozens of different types of toothpaste. That was kind of just like, wow. They thought that was a little bit over the top. Things like escalators were like really science fiction to them. It was kind of fascinating to get on an escalator and, just step on. It was, some of those things were interesting to them. One of the cultural things that I did was I took a couple of the Sudanese boys to the rodeo with horses and cows and cowboys and stuff. And they had been cow herders when they were little. I mean, boys as young as 3 and 4 go out and herd cows in Sudan. And so here were full-grown American men out there like trying to wrestle cows to the ground. And they thought that was so absurd. They thought that was so odd. Like, why would you use cows this way? And they had a hard time getting their head around that.
What are people like you doing in order to help these lost boys?
Well, I volunteered my time, and quite frankly, I wish I did more. But I think giving up some of my time and showing them sort of the skills and culture and how to get around, helping them be successful so they can achieve their goals. There's a lot that can be done. There's always refugees that need help, either, just things like providing pots and pans so they don't have to buy them and they can get, sort of basic household things. Anything that contributes to their independence and success could be done.
Well, what can we do as students in order to help the lost boys?
I think what you're doing right now, just learning and being educated, being aware, I think is huge. There are organizations that Lost Boys have founded. They've started organizations to also raise awareness and to kind of either channel funds and projects back to their countries. But given the time that all this is, a lot of this took place in the 90s, and now time has gone by, so they've had enough time to be quite successful and give back to their countries. But there are foundations out there started by Lost Boys for their countries.
As for yourself personally, do you think you've done your best to help them?
No, as I said, I think that there's always more that could have been done. I enjoyed doing what I was doing. I have always been committed to giving back in some ways, and I think being in education is a good part of that. I left a very high-paying career because this is more gratifying, and I think raising that awareness is important.
Could you just tell us quickly what you did before becoming a teacher?
I was in international development. That's what my master's degree is in. I worked for an organization that was based in Washington, D.C. and worked with government contracts, implementing projects in different countries all over the world. So there are career fields for people who are interested in giving back and sharing and stuff like that.
Overall, do you think the whole resettlement was a success?
That is a great question. Having not been part of that for the last couple of years, it's hard to say exactly, but I think yes. I think, and it probably varies a little bit. Organization to organization has different processes and strategies, but I felt what the International Rescue Committee was doing, I think it was successful, and I think the Sudanese boys getting their education, being able to stand on their own 2 feet, and now being able to give back to their own country, I think that speaks for itself.
And asked as one final question.
Do you still kind of make contact with one of the boys that you
Unfortunately, I lost contact with them. When I was living in Tucson, we kept up for a while, but then, life kind of happens. They were busy with their school and education. I got married and had a child, and so that did kind of go away. I would love to find out what some of them are doing today.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions? No? All right. Thank you.